Hey y'all, thanks for tuning back into Chickanic. I hope everybody's having a great week. Do not go anywhere because today we are turning this trash into somebody's treasure. Now, if I get this mower running today, I'm giving it away. Today we're working on a Husqvarna 48-inch cut twin cylinder riding lawn mower. I got this, I didn't pay for it. A customer brought one of our used riding lawn mowers and I gave him $150 for this. He said that it would die every time you engage the blades, and while it's running, it was not running well, so it needs the carburetor gone through. Let's get it in the shop. Now, it has been a minute since I've started this thing, and I think Ron's been stealing some pieces and parts off of it. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little bit of gas out of the bottom of the gas tank and make sure it doesn't have water in it, because it has been sitting outside. Well, it doesn't look cloudy, so I don't think I have any water in it. That's good. So we're going to go ahead. I don't have any faith in this battery. Try to start it. Well, it's not going to start. Give it a little spray here. Yep, need some carb work. Now, last time we messed with this, it would start after we messed with it a whole bunch, messing with the throttle, the choke, kept trying over and over again to get it to go. It finally would go, and then it would die whenever I engaged the blade. So I know now, just from it also sitting this extra few months, I got to go through the carburetor. Now, I've already made a really good extensive carburetor kit video on this Briggs and Stratton twin cylinder double barrel carburetor. So if you want to see that, I will leave a link right up above. If you don't, I'm going to blow through taking this apart. Alright, so we got the carburetor off and all cleaned up so we can throw a kit in it, but I do want to tell you something super important. A lot of times people are like, why don't you just get on Amazon and buy a cheap carburetor and throw it on there? First off, this is the original Niki double barrel carburetor that came off of it. I kit them because the aftermarket ones you get on Amazon only work half the time. If you got one that worked, good for you, but it's not going to last long. These will last years if you run it correctly, use a good gas and a fuel stabilizer. The other ones, they just don't. When it comes to carburetor kits, this thing OEM is hundreds of dollars. If you buy a carburetor kit, it's like, I don't know, it's an astronomical, like 80 something dollars, which is ridiculous. If you just need the jets, it has two jets inside, a left and a right, and they're like $18, $19 a piece for this tiny, tiny little piece of metal. It's ridiculous. When actually the metal's fine. There's just a small O-ring right on it right there. See that little O-ring? That's all you need. Really? $19 for a tiny O-ring? So when you go to buy an aftermarket carburetor kit, the problem I have found is that if you have not already bought many through many different companies, you're not going to know this. You're going to try to put it all back together and it's not going to work. So you can either get a whole aftermarket double barrel kit. Let me get this one open and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Now, when you get these kits or you see them online, you're like, oh, it's got everything I could possibly need. All the different gaskets, the bowl gasket, the jet tube gaskets for the top and the bottom. Everything's in this kit. Why would I buy a $80 kit when I can get this one for, I don't know, 10, 12 bucks? Well, that's because in this entire kit, this gasket and this gasket are pretty important. you'll probably want to change these out because these do get smushed and go bad. You will, in the video that I made that I left a link to, it'll show you how smushed they can get. But these two are the most important little O-rings to go on these jets. But guess what? In most of the aftermarket kits you get, they're the wrong size and they're not going to fit down in your jet tube. So I've got this aftermarket kit. I'll just set these right there. They got those two jets. I got this other cheap aftermarket kit that, you know, just has this important gasket, a ball gasket, and the two jets. You would think that it should work, but they're the same size O-rings as the ones in that other kit. Okay, maybe even a little bigger. So you've got these two sizes, but neither one of these are going to work. Then I find this other aftermarket kit. Let's pour its pieces out. And I want to show you, this one we finally found has the correct size O-rings for the jet. And I want you to see the difference here. There's one of them. Where's the other one? Oh, it's in there somewhere. I'll find it. But look at the difference in the size of those O-rings. That's crazy that the aftermarkets are trying to, you know, pawn these ones off. They do not want to fit down in the jet. This tiny little one, that's the size you need. Look at the difference in those two O-rings. So, not gonna lie, this thing reeks. So it needed to be gone in. Obviously has some bad gas inside of it. Get in your hole. Quit sliding. I don't want to get it on me. Alright, got most of it out. There is a pile. I don't know if you can see it too well. I don't know where my flashlight is, but there is a pile of goo sitting down in the bottom there. Clean that out. Other than that, everything really actually still looks good. Might smell a little rank, but so we've got to take our tube out here. So a lot of you commented when I talked about this vessel screwdriver. You said it was Japanese and that they were made different and they're special, and a lot of people that work on like motorcycles and stuff use them. Yeah, this thing is awesome, and I did leave it in the description box below. They just feel great. They're weighted great, and they do grab everything really well. So thank y'all for all the information. So that butterfly gasket goes right down here. You can see it. Oh yeah, this one's coming out in pieces, so it definitely needs to be changed. Wow. Yeah, it's gone to mush. Huh. And I bet these ones aren't far behind, which means the O-rings around these jets are probably gross, so pop these out. Oh, they're dark. I'm gonna give this a good spray, a clean. It's probably going to, yeah, get a new needle, 2 new jets. I am using the actual Briggs and Stratton jets. You do need to put the left and the right ones up. Don't know why. They look exactly the same, but the left jet is a 791-501. The right jet is a 791-502. When you get them, I go ahead and write on it, left, right. That way you know. So let's go ahead and open up this other side here. Oh, that's crunchy. Oh yeah, we're gonna change all this out. Since we got new ones with this kit, we're gonna go ahead and get it all cleaned up. And on. On this side, we're going to remove the choke, and then there's a screw down here holding in this tube. And this is really important. There's another gasket inside this kit that will go underneath there. That's where the air comes in and regulates everything. So you're going to want to take this whole thing apart. Now, like I said, I've already made a really good detailed video on how to do this carburetor kit. I will leave a link right above or in the description box if you want to check that out. So I'm just going to get this all apart, clean it up, and throw a kit in. So I'm putting new jets in that one carburetor because this is just bad. I mean, if you got jets like this, you do need to replace them. I don't normally see them this terrible, but these are gross, so I can't demonstrate on these ones. So I have another carburetor here that I am just taking apart just so I could take the jets out and show you the difference of these O-rings and how one will not work and one will. So I've got this jet out here, and I want you to see how tiny this little O-ring is. I mean, it's itty bitty. This plump thing is never going to fit, okay? But I'm going to show you what happens if you try. You buy this kit, you think you're doing the right thing. I really don't want to destroy this one because it was in there. Really, the only time they're bad is when they fall out. That's once your O-ring has gotten so messed up and hard that, yeah, see the difference there? This is a used O-ring, this green one right here. That's the black new one. That's what needs to go in it. And most kits, and you can order from the same company and think you're getting the same kit, and they will give you this gigantic O-ring. So we go ahead and pop this gigantic O-ring on. Oh. Get over there. Look at how plump that is. We're going to try to stick it down in here. Press, press. No, it's never gonna fit. Never. It does not work. Junk. But I put my green O-ring back on because it was just holding fine. There's no reason to change this one out. If they're bad, they will just fall right out on you. I'm going to get this one to line up in there and watch. Presses right in very easily. Does not fall out. Still a good O-ring. Wish I could tell you what kit to buy, but you can order the same kit from the same distributor over and over again, and they'll send you different stuff, so you never know what you're going to get. So yeah, that's why a lot of times I do not recommend this aftermarket stuff. You think you have everything you need, and it ends up not working out for you at all. You get discouraged, and then you end up taking it to a repair shop. I want you to be able to fix it right the first time. And without going through all these manufacturers' kits, you would not know if you had the right parts or not. Well, it is a new day. I realized that I had a doctor's appointment for eye checkup, and after smelling that carburetor, I knew if I got into that thing too much, I was going to reek and not be able to wash that kind of stank off. And the verdict ended up being that I do not need any prescription eyeglasses. I just might need some stronger readers, and I'm just going to have to stick with, you know, this whole nose thing. I know a lot of you guys are like, put them back on your eyes. Well, I can see fine far away. I just can't see what's right in front of me. So this is where they stay. So Ron was nice enough to take care of this stinker for me, which I appreciate because I really didn't want to smell like that. But he said that that stuff in the bottom of the bowl was almost hard as a rock. It was really bad once you got deep down inside the carburetor. He cleaned it out as much as he could, got it put back together, threw it on, started it up, and he said it gave a slight surge in the beginning, but it levels out after a few seconds, so it's fine. What he did find out though is before, whenever we would get it started, it would die when we engaged the blades. This time, after we charged the battery all day yesterday and it took the charge, when you start it up now, the blades will engage just fine. Now, why is that? That's because if you do not have a good battery on your machine, even though you can jump it and start it, your engine necessarily itself does not need the battery to stay running. But all the accessories on the outside do, like your solenoid, your fuel shutoff solenoid for your carburetor, your PTO. If you do not have enough juice in your battery to work those, it can just shut the engine off from the solenoid. It can your fuel shutoff solenoid cannot work, and it'll shut your fuel off. It can do all these things to make your engine just die when you engage the blades. So that's always something I would check. I see that question a lot. My mower dies when I engage the blade. Always check your battery first. So let's start her up and see how she runs. For a 10-year-old mower, she sounds pretty good, so I'm pretty excited about this. I'm giving it away to my niece, who I'm extremely proud of. She's 23 years old. She just finished with EMT school. Her and her boyfriend have saved up enough to buy a house, and they have almost an acre of land with absolutely zero mowers. So who do you call? Aunt B, so she can hook you up with something to mow that grass with. So I think this will work out perfectly for them. I'm gonna get it all cleaned up, serviced out, and let's take it to her. Well, it is delivery day, and I'm super excited to give my niece her first riding mower at her brand new house. This is my beautiful niece Sierra, who I am super, super proud of. You just graduated what?
Paramedic school, about to, in a couple months.
Yes, yeah. And she just got her first house, which is awesome, and I'm super proud of her, so I'm so happy to be able to give her her first riding lawnmower.
Thank you so much.
I love you.
I love you.
So guys, thanks again for tuning into Chickanic. Hopefully something in this video saved you some time, money, and frustration in the future. If you haven't found me at Facebook, find me at facebook.com/Chickanic. Find me on Instagram at The Real Chickanic, or find me at Chickanic.com, where you can get your own t-shirts, hoodies, and long sleeve shirts. Thanks guys, and have a great day.